Hello friends! Initially, Mitsubishi Lancer X was offered with 3 gasoline engines, a displacement of 1.5 liters, 109 horsepower, 1.8 liters, 143 horsepower, and 2.0 liters, 150 horsepower. In 2011, an engine with a capacity of 1.6 liters, 117 horsepower appeared. And in 2012, after restyling, the 1.5 liter and 2.0 liter engines were removed from the line. The common problems of engines include sweating front crankshaft oil seal with a run of more than 100 to 150,000 kilometers. If you do not rush to replace, then the oil that has fallen on the damper pulley of the drive belts can disable it, softens the damper. With a run of more than 60 to 100,000 kilometers, the sealing ring of the exhaust pipeline often burns out, which is why the Lancer begins to growl. Oxygen sensors may require replacement after 100 to 150,000 kilometers. An engine with a working volume of 1.5 liters, 4A91, with a run of more than 100 to 150,000 kilometers, sometimes starts to eat up oil. The reason for the oil gluttony is the occurrence of rings. Sometimes scoring is also found in the cylinders. In some cases, after 200 to 250,000 kilometers, the problem of increased oil consumption overtakes other engines. The reason is the same, the occurrence of piston rings. However, the scale of the problem is not as big as in the case of the base 1.5. Valve clearance adjustment in all engines is carried out by selecting pushers. The gaps can go beyond the permissible limits in the range of 100 to 150,000 kilometers. Neglecting the procedure can lead to burnout of the valve. All Lancer engines have a timing chain drive with a resource of more than 300,000 kilometers. A 5-speed manual gearbox was attached to any motors. Manual transmissions installed on Mitsubishi Lancers with a 1.5 liter engine until 2008 had design defects and were not very reliable. Common faults include leaking drive seals, extraneous noise, and failure of the first gear synchronizer. I had to face problems with runs of more than 40 to 70,000 kilometers. Many owners of a Mitsubishi Lancer 10 with a manual transmission complain about a jerk when shifting from first to second gear or biting the shift lever in the first gear position. There is no specific way to solve the illness. Some were helped by replacing the clutch, others claim that everything went by itself. The clutch usually serves over 150 to 200,000 kilometers. Automatic was installed in tandem with engines of 1.5 and 1.6 liters and Variator with engines of 1.8 and 2.0 liters. The 4-speed automatic F4A-4B is quite reliable. There are practically no comments to it. Unless on machines of the 12 to 16 model years, shocks were observed during switching, which were eliminated by updating the software. The JF011E Variator is also not too problematic, although cases of repair occur after 200 to 250,000 kilometers. With prolonged movement at high speed, the Variator often overheats, as reported by the gear on the onboard computer display. It is noteworthy that after restyling, the radiator for cooling the working fluid of the Variator was completely removed, which aggravated the situation. But caring owners independently returned the radiator to its place. In the Lancer's suspension, the front shock absorbers were the first to give up. Traces of leakage appeared on the rod. The average rack life is about 50 to 80,000 kilometers. The rear shock absorbers went longer, over 100 to 120,000 kilometers. In addition, over time, the anthers of the suspension struts began to grunt. Following the front shock absorbers, the turn of bushings and struts of anti-roll bars came, about 60 to 80,000 kilometers. The support bearings of the front struts nursed about 90 to 120,000 kilometers. Front wheel bearings of the Lancer X will last more than 80 to 120,000 kilometers. Rear, more than 100 to 150,000 kilometers. Rear bearings are changed only in assembly with the hub. Lancer suspension arms run more than 100 to 150,000 kilometers. With a run of more than 150 to 200,000 kilometers, many owners of Mitsubishi Lancer X's note subsidence of the rear springs. Tie rods and tips will last more than 60 to 90,000 kilometers. After 80 to 120,000 kilometers, the steering rack may knock or leak. With a run of more than 30 to 50,000 kilometers, calipers often begin to rattle. To eliminate extraneous sounds, it is necessary to replace the lower caliper guides with upper ones with a rubber seal. The parking brake pads can also rattle in the back. After adjusting them, the noise goes away. Mitsubishi Lancer X's from 2008 to 2009 with automatic and CVT fell under a revocable campaign to replace the brake cylinder. The Mitsubishi Lancer body iron is resistant to the harmful effects of an aggressive environment and is not prone to corrosion, and the paintwork traditionally for modern cars is soft and easily scratched. However, on older specimens, owners sometimes notice red spots at the bottom of the front fender, behind the wheel. After removing the wing, the reason is found: the accumulation of dirt. However, corrosion affects the lower wing mounting bracket. The salon of the Mitsubishi Lancer X begins to creak over time. The creak of plastic can be accompanied by the rattling of the hood stop at the point of attachment to the body. Aluminum inserts, leather trim on the steering wheel, and gear lever are wiped after 60 to 100,000 kilometers. Cars produced in 2008 and 2009 came under a recall campaign due to incorrect operation of front impact sensors. Sometimes the fuel level gauge starts to fail. After 200 to 250,000 kilometers, the heater motor may make noise or fail. There are also malfunctions in the air conditioning system, the compressor clutch bearing fails, or the radiator fails. After 200 to 250,000 kilometers, the generator may also need repairs. Brushes and bearings wear out. If you know of other model malfunctions, be sure to write about it.